This model is our systematic circulation model. We don't use this model very often because most of the models that we have are a great deal more detailed than this, but this is a model that gives a very good overview of the circulatory system and a few major organs in the body. And there actually is quite a bit of detail that we can see if we look closely. We'll start here with the heart. We see the heart. This organ has 2 atria, 2 ventricles. We can see our pulmonary semilunar valve leading into the pulmonary trunk. The pulmonary trunk is an artery, even though it contains deoxygenated blood, because remember, by definition, arteries go away from the heart. On this side, you can see the aortic semilunar valve, which is going to go into the aorta. Here we have the ascending aorta and the arch of the aorta. Coming off the arch, we see 1, 2, 3 little fingers. The first finger is our brachiocephalic trunk. This is an artery that divides into our right common carotid artery and our right subclavian. Then our second finger is our left common carotid artery, and the third finger is our left subclavian. We also have next to the aorta, this vein is our superior vena cava. What flows into the superior vena cava is our right subclavian vein and our right internal jugular vein. Where they join is the right brachiocephalic vein. Over here on the other side, we have our left internal jugular and our left subclavian vein. This is a much longer left brachiocephalic vein, so that also goes into our superior vena cava. The superior vena cava and the corresponding inferior vena cava here, which comes up from the lower half of the body, passing through the diaphragm at the level of T8. Both of these vessels drain into the right atrium. On either side of the heart, we have our 2 lungs. Again, I mentioned this is the diaphragm. Below the diaphragm, we have this large organ here, which is the liver. We'll see the liver in great deal more detail. On this side, we have the spleen. Missing, of course, will be the stomach in front. I want to point out our 2 little kidneys here, one on either side. So this is our inferior vena cava, and this right here is our abdominal aorta. Now we have 3 unpaired arteries coming off the center. We have first our celiac trunk, then our superior mesenteric artery, and then here is our inferior mesenteric artery. And these correspond to supplying the foregut, the celiac trunk, the midgut, which is your superior mesenteric artery, and the hindgut, which is your inferior mesenteric artery. We can see some branches coming off the celiac trunk. Here we have one going toward the spleen, that's our splenic artery. This little one going up would be our left gastric, and the one going in the general direction of our liver would be our common hepatic. I'm not going to go into any further divisions on this model, but we will see these later when we do the portal triad. Okay. Also down here we have a paired set of arteries. This shows the paired renal arteries. It does not show the gonadal arteries, which will be just below that, but these of course go to the kidneys. You have your renal arteries and of course the corresponding renal veins. This also shows the abdominal aorta splitting into our common iliacs. The common iliacs split into our external iliac, which becomes our femoral artery when it passes the inguinal canal, and the other branches are internal iliac arteries. So we have a left and a right external, and a left and a right internal, and a left and a right common iliac. Okay, I think for Unit 4, that's all we're going to look at on this model.